Hello and welcome once again to the Fitness is Our Business podcast, the show that helps busy professionals thrive in their demanding lives by taking control of their health and fitness. I am your host, Victor Fernandez, founder of Fernandez Fit and best-selling author, and I coach entrepreneurs and business owners who've built something real and are finally ready to build the elite version of themselves to match it. This is your first time listening to the show, welcome. But whether you're new or you've been following for a while, make sure to like the show, leave a review, subscribe to the show, and share it far and wide because more people need to learn that fitness is our business. Now, I have a story to share with you today. And even though my mission is to teach people that fitness is our business, this story is very personal to me. It's about my father. He was a painter for a shipbuilding company for over 30 years. His two hands helped build the Stars and Stripes, the yacht that won the America's Cup back in 1987. He worked hard to provide for our family. But when a stroke took his physical ability away from him a decade ago, it seemed to take his will to fight for his life along with it. Frankly, he gave up. And I'm still angry about that to this day. It's been nearly 3 years since he's passed. And I carry that anger with me every single day. And I think I'll carry that anger with me every single day till the day I die. Simply because he worked hard his entire life and didn't give himself the opportunity to fully enjoy what he built. And I see that pattern in a lot of entrepreneurs. And it's not about age or anything like that. It's about patterns. And I saw it in myself. Building for everyone else, deferring your own life until after the next milestone and then the next milestone after that, telling yourself that you'll invest in yourself once your career is more stable or when revenue hits certain numbers or when things calm down. You and I both know that things never calm down. You know the milestones just keep on coming, they keep on moving. And one day you look up and you realize you spent the best years of your life building something while the person doing the building, yourself, was running on empty the whole time. That's the cost of waiting, not just for health, but for life. I mentioned earlier that I'm Exhibit A. I can talk about my dad, but I'm Exhibit A. I waited until I was 47 years old to make the decision that changed my life. I'm 54 now, and I genuinely believe I'm now on the front nine of my life, in my relative infancy. But I'll never stop wishing that I'd started sooner. There's that little part of me that carries that regret and will continue to carry that regret. Because as much as I've been able to accomplish in the last 6-7 years, I'll wonder, well, what if I had started at 47 instead started at 37 or even 27? Imagine how much further along in my life I'd be. Imagine how much more of my life I would have thoroughly enjoyed. Because I'll never stop pushing back, on the idea that betting on ourselves, means taking some dramatic leap. It doesn't. It really just, it begins with starting, with taking that first step. That's what I'm talking about. I wish I had taken that first step to start taking care of myself at 27 or even 37 and not 47. That's 20 years of my life that I'll never gain back. And it's not to say that I completely stopped living, but it is to say that I didn't live life to the fullest. That's for sure. And it took that very first day. And for me, that meant betting on myself. And that looked like 10 minutes on a treadmill. And it looked like that because that's exactly what it was. 10 minutes on a treadmill, working alongside my first health and fitness coach, and then showing up the next day to do the same thing, and then to do the same thing the day after that, and the day after that, and so on down the line. It meant hiring a coach, like I said, when I didn't think I could afford one. And frankly, I couldn't. But also realizing at the time that I couldn't afford not to hire one. Where would I be right now if I hadn't done that? That's the flip side of the regret that I carry. It's the clarity in knowing that even though I started so late in life, Imagine if I hadn't started at all. And for me, it also meant leaving a 26-year career that was eating me alive, my sports journalism career. Not blaming it, I made the choices to allow it to eat me alive. But it was not feasible to have a healthy lifestyle, living the life and keeping the hours that I did. It also meant moving my family to a new city. It meant leaving Erie, Pennsylvania, which was my last job in the newspaper industry, or last full-time job anyway, moving to Ocean City, Maryland, and now to Wilmington, North Carolina, and also building Fernandez Fit from scratch just 5-6 years ago. First in Maryland, now here in North Carolina, with no guarantee in either location that it would work, that it would be successful. Was it messy along the way? Absolutely. Was it scary along the way? Every single day. Still is. Always will be. But did I regret it for a single moment? Not once. I said this to someone the other day. No matter how bad things get, no matter how much the business may struggle or, whatever it may be, whatever challenges come my way for Fernandez Fit, it will never be worse than working for somebody else. Never. And I had some great bosses along the way, don't get me wrong. But when you do the work, when the burden of the job is completely on your shoulders and it falls on you to do the right thing, why not do that right thing for yourself? That led me to even change what I was doing in the health and fitness industry, going from working for someone else where I was doing all the work and they were keeping a portion of the money, to now working for myself where I do all the work and I keep all the money. Well, except for what Uncle Sam gets. Here's what I know with complete certainty after everything I've been through. You will never regret betting on yourself. Even when it doesn't go exactly according to plan. Even when it's harder than you expected, because it's going to be. The regret, let's face it, is always on the other side. I carry it with me, like I said. And it stems from all the years that I played it safe. In the versions of me that were average, that were okay, but weren't good, and God forbid, great. I held that regret for 2 decades because I lived in it. I'm done with it now. I still carry it with me as a constant reminder of where I was compared to where I am today. But I'm done with allowing it to keep me down. So here's what I think. The entrepreneurs who change their lives don't wait for perfect conditions. And frankly, I did that for far too long. They create the right conditions by deciding what they're doing matters. I had plenty of opportunities but I allowed to slip by because I was too afraid to take a leap of faith, to put myself in an uncomfortable position and grow from it. I was afraid of that. I couldn't take care of myself. How could I possibly handle something like that? But that decision is available to all of us right now. And it'll be there tomorrow and the next day and the next day after that. But the idea is you don't let each one slip past you. You don't let each one just walk on by. Because you don't need a complete overhaul. You don't need to completely change your calendar or how you do things. You need to start imperfectly with whatever time and circumstances your real life gives you. And most of all, to not quit. Look, build the identity first. Build your identity first. And that starts with our health and well-being. Always does. That's the hardest thing anyone will ever do. It's the hardest thing I've ever had to do in life. And that includes building a business. But if you do that, if you build that identity first, the results have this, funny way of following up. Like I said before, I started Fernandez Fit 6-7 years ago. I moved to a new city twice, not knowing anybody when I got there. And I've enjoyed some success. I've enjoyed some struggles. We've had some struggles for sure, still do, but we've enjoyed some success. A couple of years ago, I won Entrepreneur of the Year. You might be able to see it if you're watching on YouTube right now. There on my bookshelf behind me, won Entrepreneur of the Year from the North Brunswick Chamber of Commerce here in the Wilmington area. So I've had some success. I've been able, but no matter what's happening, I've held my head high, because none of that happens. None of it happens without first deciding it was worth investing. And think about it. I wrote a book. I never thought, I'd been wanting to do that forever and never thought I was going to be capable of doing that. And I was able to write a book, and a best-selling book at that. I see that on my bookshelf behind me if you're watching on YouTube as well. I know, shameless plug. So go buy my book. But without taking care of myself, without taking that first step, none of this that I've pointed out would have happened. We're all worth investing in, because you have built something real, personal, professional, whatever it may be. You've worked hard, you've sacrificed, you've shown up. Now it's time to show up for yourself, because 6 months from now, a year from now, you'll be glad you started today, because you didn't simply settle for just thinking about it. Look, I said I'll start when things calm down for nearly 20 years. I said it when I was single. I said it when I was married, when I got married, when our kids were young, when the career was busy, because it always was. There is no version of life where timing is perfect. There's no concept of perfection. There's only the decision to start. And once you do that, you never know where you'll end up. And that's the beauty of it. But one day you'll find out, and you'll be better for it. That's all I got for you for this edition of the Fitness is Our Business podcast. I want to say thank you for listening in, for sharing the show, for subscribing, for reaching out. The conversations I've had on this show, the thoughts that I've shared, have reminded me every time why I do this, why I do what I do every day. So if you're ready to take that first step, reach out to me. DM me, find me at fernandezfit.com. Click the link in my bio. Hey, my number is 814-504-7774. It's the only one I've had for over 20 years. So no sense in hiding it. Give me a call. Shoot me a message. First call is free. No pitch. No sales. Just clarity on what's actually in the way and how we can get through it. And once again, like I said, please like the show, subscribe, leave a great review, and of course, share this show far and wide, because it will help more entrepreneurs learn that fitness is our business.